Today is leg day, so I'm about to head over to Muscle Factory and do this is my second of 3 leg workouts for my 10-day split. So I don't do a normal conventional split and limit myself just to 7 days of when I have to train on those specific days. So I've kind of thought outside the box, and the big thing for me this season is bringing up my hams and glutes. So I actually have 2 ham and glute emphasis days and 1 quad day. So when I'm training day is my quad day, and it's kind of more of a moderate rep range that I'll fall into. If you want to look at the split that I'm actually doing, it's more of it's daily undulating periodization, so it's more of a template of how I program things. So I have like some lower rep days. My first hamstring day will be like some 6 to 8 rep range, a little lower. My quad day, I bring that rep range up, stay around 10 to 12. Some things I go above or rarely I go below that on my quad day. Then my last hamstring day is when I do really high reps. So if you're going to compare it to any type of program out there, I'd say it'd be the closest thing to Y3T, just how the rep ranges vary every workout, but that's the same principle as undulating periodization. So it's a template to put together your training program. But I'm just here at the apartment. I just ate my pre-workout meal about 60 minutes ago, and I hit up my pre, and I'm gonna roll out to Muscle Factory and get it done. So hams are still a little tender, so we'll see what happens today, and try to lift some big weights. On hack squats, doing a rest pause set. My first set, I try to hit around 8 to 10 reps on the first set, then take like that 15-20 second rest period, and then go again to, I try to go near failure. Obviously, I mean, on big leg movements, it's hard to go to true failure, but I mean, if you're a good judge, you can know if you're kind of 1 rep shy of failure or not. So that's the point that I try to hit on my leg days. And then I take another 15-20 second break, and then go again. So that first exercise that you're seeing on there, it's I didn't even count my reps in my first one, but I know in the second set I hit like 3 reps, and the last one I think is 2 reps. And I do another rest pause set, and I'll pull a plate off and try to get a little bit higher rep range. But obviously, since I'm already kind of fatigued, the reps drop down a little bit. And so I'll jot those numbers down and come back and try to beat it again in 30 days. Went through quad day, started with hack squats. Usually my first 2 movements are big compound moves, and I'll rotate over kind of like a 3-week period with different compound moves. My main ones that I'm sticking to are, for this off-season, hack squats, leg press, and back squat, and variations of it. So each time I cycle through, I'll do some type of variation of those lifts, or do them in a different manner regarding like rest pause, a reverse pyramid set, or an acclimation set. And then after the kind of like my 30-day period, I'll repeat those workouts again and see if I can make improvements, beat my reps or weight. So for today, my main moves were close stance hack squat, and then a frog stance, close stance, banded leg press. So it's real low on the platform. I am pretty comfortable in that position. I have good hip flexibility and ankle flexibility, so I can go pretty low, and I can really put a lot of emphasis on my quads. Also, when I do quads on the leg press, I almost always use bands. If it's a hamstring movement, I won't use bands, but you get a lot of quad activation towards the top of the movement, and to really accommodate the strength curve, bands work great. So you get a constant tension that whole time, compared to like doing your hamstrings, when you get really the big load on your hams in the full stretch position. So with the band, it lightens the load on the bottom, or you get increased tension at the top. And so when I train hams, I try to stay in that full stretch position. So I use just straight weight, if that makes sense. I work up to do three straight sets. In the first set, pretty much try to hit around 20 reps. Again, my rep number is just a way to judge my weight. I just go until I'm near failure. So if it's less than 20, if it's more than 20, that's fine. My main thing is just getting to that point of nearly about 1 rep shy of failure or so. And then I'll just stick with that same weight and repeat for 2 more sets. And if you're doing it right, the reps should be dropping down. So like on my last set, I think I only got like 10 or 12 reps. So after that, that's really quad emphasis. My big emphasis for this whole off season is glutes and hams. So I'm really trying to bring them up. So I will, on my third movement, I will bring in some a compound movement that does bring in some more glute work, which I do reverse hack squat. And I do them a different way, so it's a little bit time under tension. I'll try to hit 10 reps, but I'll do 1.5 reps. So I go down all the way, come up about halfway, go back down all the way, and then all the way up again. So the tension that you keep on your glutes is a lot. It's pretty unrelenting, and you still hit a lot of quad, but you also bring in your adductors a lot, so kind of still training overall leg development. Then I'll do a cluster set of that, and my purpose of doing cluster sets is mainly 2 things. For one, it might be I'm doing a cluster set to work tension at different points of the movement. So for instance, I might do maybe like a stiff leg deadlift when you have your highest tension point in the full stretch position, and then I might go on to like a glute bridge when you have like your highest tension point in the full shortened position. My other point of doing it might be to kind of pre-fatigue. So I might like for instance today, that was kind of what I was doing. So the muscle group that I'm trying to emphasize, I was doing leg extension and then doing the cluster sets with the reverse hack. So I'm still putting a lot of emphasis on my quads, but I still have that secondary effect for glute training too. So the cluster set, it's just 3 rounds, and there's 1 minute rest period between each exercise. So it's just kind of a non-stop circuit, but it's not the same sense as a superset where you are getting so fatigued where you can't actually put a lot of effort in, and it's not the purpose of just extending a failure set. So you have some recovery period to where you can still put good effort into the movement. And if you're doing the cluster sets right, like each set following each round, the reps should be dropping down. So maybe you hit 10 reps on your first cluster, the second one maybe 8, and the next one maybe 6. So the reps should be dropping if you're really putting a lot of effort into each set. My last movement, it just kind of went to crap. I was pretty much done at that point. I like doing like a unilateral movement, like a lunge or something single leg. I tried to do walking barbell lunges. I did 1 set, and I was all over the place. I think it was because my hands were still a little fatigued from Monday, and the workout just beat me up. So you kind of have some, if you have a program and it says you have to do 3 sets of this, and that, you have to have some, way of judging when maybe you don't need to do 3 sets that day, and today was definitely the case. So, you'll see, I kind of starting to get wobbly, and I was on my way back, and my legs were just fried. I was done, so I just did 1 set of those. Normally, I was planning on doing 3. To go back and do it again, I probably would have done them in the Smith machine, something more stabilized, and done it like that way. Or I might even in quads on just some type of like burnout set, or set where for instance, like a single leg extension, and just going back and forth leg to leg without any rest period, just to kind of burn out. And I did end on doing, I used to do dog crap, DC training for a long time, so I still do my DC stretching at the end. So that's me like hanging like a monkey in the Smith machine, stretching my quads out. I've seen good results with it over time. I've been doing it for quite a few years. So just bring the muscle full of blood and really stretching out the fascia. I think it makes a difference, especially just for keeping mobility around it as well too. So that was quad day. Again, I'm going to be up on the boards, the forums, so look for my Q&A if you have questions on my workouts. Follow me on Instagram at JohnJewett3. I'll also I'm going to try to post up all my workouts on my journey as well. So go to the animal website and we can check out all my stuff.